So ego is the most prominent obstruction on the spiritual path, right? Ego is our identification. So what we are, what we believe ourselves to be, your name, your relationships, your possessions, and all those things accumulated together creates an ego. Ego is not egotism and that I'm feeling superior to you, not like that. Just our knowing ourselves, our identification itself is the ego, right? So whatever you identify with, body, of course, but then all the other connections in the society. The ego is not a reality, but that spiritual people might say that. People who are advanced in the spiritual path may say that. People may experience that the ego, something that disappears in the spiritual sadhana and things like that. But in the reality, why is it fake? Why is it an illusion? Why is it not the truth? Although all of us live our daily lives with ego as the truth. Yes, I am Shrenik, I am this, I am that, I have this. And we do this all day long. But there are some philosophical way of looking at it that ego is not a reality. Why? Because it needs something else or someone else to be identified with. Like if I say, my name is Shrenik, says Shrenik who? Shrenik. And then I have to add the last name, I have to add my middle name, and all those connections has to be established to be called Shrenik. And then Shrenik who? Okay, oh, I live here. So, all right, then you need the address. Then you need the house, description of the house and what, etc. My email address and my home address and all those things. That defines me, that the person living in that house. So the house becomes a subordinate, supporting me as a proof. Like there has been some movies like, well, the guy lost his identity and then he had such a difficult time to prove that he is what he is in this world. So we define ourselves in relationship with somebody else or something else. And it's even more than that. Our likes and dislikes also define us. If I like hiking, that if anybody is talking about hiking, the first thing I say, oh, Dr. Shah does the hiking. So he's the one who is the hiker. That's my passion. So passion also defines me. So we always identify people with what their likes and dislikes are. What's their religions? Religions also define you. Or whether you're Republican or Democrat, that also defines you. Whether you are American or non-American, Iranian, Israelis, whatever, that also defines you. And this is not something we take it lightly either. For this, getting this definition with something or someone, we get attached to it. If we knew that these are only definitions, then we have no problem. But if we have these definitions, we are happy. If we don't have these definitions, we become tremendously unhappy. In fact, if we lose this connection, it's a major blow. So all this is contained in the ego. Our likes and dislikes, like I said, it also falls under the ego. You know, it's like a spider. Like the spiders have 6 legs, right? And for some reason, if it loses one leg, it cannot walk properly. So it bothers it. So again, the tail says that, it can grow another leg. I'm not so sure whether it's the scientific fact or not, but it needs another leg. So we are like spiders. Every single identification that we have is an extension of our leg that connects you with that person, object, person, situations. And we are walking using those legs. And if we lose one of these legs, it's a major blow. I had an interesting incident that happened in my practice. And I had one Hispanic family, very lovely family, very loving and talkative, and husband and wife, they both were very nice people. And they had two girls. One was married, living in Texas, and another one was, I think, in like high 20s and not married yet. So one time she came, you know, uh, and then that was the time actually her father uh, died. And her father was very, very ill. He had so many illnesses and diabetes and kidney failure and all those things with a lot of complications. And then finally he succumbed to, to the death. And one time, so when she was visiting, it was right after he had died. So I knew the family was very closely attached. So it was gonna be, so as soon as I saw her name, I was ready. And she came, crashed, basically crying like there is no tomorrow. And obviously that was the case. So I told the girls to hold off next patients, and I said I'm going to have to spend time with her. So I did spend a lot of time with her and tried to console her, which was not easy because the family was so attached to each other and all that. Fine. So, and then meanwhile, invariably my talk always gears towards the spirituality. So I explained to her that there are ways to get over this sorrow, and then I gave her the rundown what meditation is about, where you can observe yourself. So I said, I'm not trying to make you reach samadhi state overnight or anything like that, but in quiet corners, just calm down and just look at yourself as suffering because of this connection which has been broken. Just observe, right? And she consoled and she said, okay, I'm going to try and this and that and all that. She left, not convinced, of course, because nothing happens in one day, but she said, I will try. I said, you have to do is just sit in a quiet corner and just observe yourself. Walk away from who you think you are, right? So that was the one visit. And then I had ordered some blood work. She came for a blood work and then a follow-up visit another week later. So 2 weeks later, she came. I thought, I was going to see what happened with her meditative adventure or whatever you call that, and then how she's feeling. And she was really feeling happy and very bubbly and all that. And I asked her, how do you feel? She says, I feel wonderful. And before even I can ask about meditation, I think, she says, you know what? My sister in Texas, she's pregnant. She's going to have a baby. So suddenly her leg grew back. So far, her father was one of her legs that she had lost. And now, all of a sudden, now she's consoling herself with the promise of a baby to arrive in the family. Nothing wrong. This is a typical, scenario in the sansar, but for spiritually, there is a lot of waking up to do. That our ego is always relying on something or someone else to be defined. So how real could it be? Our identification itself has to be defined by someone else or something else. And that's something wrong. The people who are on spiritual path, they see this as as a weakness, or more than weakness, is outright fake. It's created in our mind that I am this, and I am this, and I am this. I am son of this, I'm husband of this, I'm wife of this, whatever. All those things conjured up is stored in your mind. And the ego is so solid, it does not let you walk away. So whenever you try to meditate, it's a big problem for the ego, because ego lives on these identifications, and it's continuously roaming around in this self-created sansar, and it is trapped inside. Even though somebody comes and tells you that there is a way out, you don't want to hear it because you are so happy. You're happy that if one leg is gone, another leg is already growing. And this becomes almost like a trap. It's like a jail. You are born in a jail, and then how are you going to ever know that there is a world outside this jail? There is no other way. You may be living in that jail. You may have your own cell. You may decorate on occasions. You may celebrate Christmas or Valentine's, whatever. All your life, you find your mate in this humongous jail and die. and that's it. Then everybody lives like that, and they think that there is nothing else to it. But spirituality says there is a lot more to your life than what you think you are. Even if, see, mind trusts everybody. I mean, mind does not trust anybody, but mind never mistrusts itself. Mind has a problem, does not believe anything. Say, no, no, you are correct. Even if a Sadguru comes or Mahavir comes and tells you that there is another world out there, you don't want to believe it. Mind says, it's a waste of time. Don't meditate. There is no necessity. So mind does not trust anyone. And we trust the mind fully. Whatever mind says, we believe it. So we said, okay, that's fine. Mind meditation can wait. All those people have been talking about nothing is real. Who has really gone to that world to find out what's out there? Where is heaven? Where is hell? We don't know. So there is a next movie coming in the theater. Why not go and check it out? And their life goes on. So that's where the problem is. Ego does not let you escape from its grip. And that's why the firm determination comes in meditation. And all you have to do is observe. Observe your ego. Keep yourself in a central figure. Say, okay, if it is Shrenik, I'm looking at Shrenik and his emotions, all the sufferings that he has gone through, all the connections that have come and gone, including himself. The body he has is also going to come and go, come and go. Is that all there is to life? That you will need to observe. And when you observe that steadily and silently and peacefully, things start opening up that, okay, Shainik is sitting there, his ideas are sitting there, his beliefs and concepts and likes and dislikes and anger and hatred, all those things are in this cocoon, and I'm watching it. It requires patience. But in the long run, the one that is the witness starts getting stronger and stronger just by witnessing, not interfering with the ego, not telling the ego that it's wrong. I'm just watching it. And that strength start building up. That's when the transcendence starts happening. Then you start raising higher. Then what happens to the ego? It disappears. Because how long can a fake entity last? But it does not disappear from the sin. The energy that you were wasting into this unnecessary or undesired, fake connections is gone. All the energy that is conserved from realizing that these connections that I was relying on and I was trusting them, I was fighting for them, all those things, you're not wasting your energy anymore. And that energy gets sublimated. It's the same bird, a rosebud, that becomes the flower. So the spirituality is not something that's going to come from outside. Samadhi state does not come from outside. It's the same ego. You were wasting your mental energy. Now you're focusing on a single focus, the formless state of existence. So ego is got sublimated into the Samadhi state. So much for today. All right, let me stop.